Welcome back, software developers. In this video, we're going to look at a couple ways that we can start to build out an MVP using low-code and no-code tools. Now, you do not have to use a low-code or no-code type of tool to build an MVP. These tools are just a great way to kind of prototype and get some ideas very, very quickly. So I'm going to show you a couple of different tools. This is by no means a complete list of low-code or no-code types of tools. I'm going to give you a little bit of advantages and disadvantages of some of them, and then you'll see the one that I'm going to use when we go next. All right, so let's take a quick look. First up, I have Bubble, and it's found at bubble.io, and this is probably one of the more popular no-code tools. If we look here, you can kind of see the product, and you see different things about it, such as the design, how you can store data inside of it, its logic, and how it does some processing. It is helpful to have some sort of technical experience, I've found, just because of the logic. There's a lot of things that you can do with Bubble, and it's very popular for that reason. If you come over here to in use case, you'll actually see where it has a couple different things that you can look at, including a showcase to show you what they've done, but also talking about founders. That is, people who are coming up with an idea and maybe don't have something to fully show yet. Now, you can look down here and they can tell you that, hey, there's 3.1 million users building on Bubble, and they've raised over $10 billion in funding over those different users. So this gives you a great example of what Bubble was designed to do, help people with new ideas. Next, I want to show you Flutter Flow. Flutter Flow is a little bit different from Bubble. Bubble's designed to have those interactive websites. Flutter Flow, on the other hand, is designed for building mobile apps. That's right, you can build a mobile app that you run on your phone, not a mobile website, but an actual app. In fact, if you go to the pricing menu, you can see under the Pro tab, you have a one-click deployment to both the Apple iTunes Store as well as the Google Play App Store. So this is a huge advantage. Now you might say, well, wait a second, that's $70 a month. Well, that's if you're paying for month by month. If you do annual billing, it's a lot cheaper, which is nice. And if you're building apps, and you can build apps pretty quickly, this allows you to do a lot. If we come over here to features real quick, you can see that it has ways for you to literally drag and drop elements onto the screen and have it start to lay things out for you. Flutter Flow is actually built on top of a framework called Flutter. And one of the things that you can do at the right package level is download that actual code. So it will take your no code and convert it to code if you have a developer who wants to develop like this. So anything that you can do in Flutter, you can just about do in Flutter Flow, including things like incorporating a YouTube video player, Google Maps, and much, much more. So this is really, really nice for you to look at. If you scroll down, you can see some different things you can do, including things like branching, validating with test, deploying to the cloud, etc. Once again, you can go to their showcase section and get an idea of some different things that people have already done. Next, I'd like to show you Airtable. Airtable is mainly designed as kind of an easy to use database on the web. However, it does have some front-end interfaces that you might find like in Microsoft Access, but because it's web-based, you can use them anywhere. Now, the user interfaces are a little bit more basic. Its real thing is about storing the data, and it's a very simple online database that you can use. It is relatively cheap. It's not free, but it is relatively cheap. You can go to pricing and kind of take a look at some of the different pricing features you'll see and how many records you're allowed to store. So this might be a great thing to start at and then move up further if you need something larger and more complex. However, you don't have to be a database administrator to get started, which is the nice thing about this. Another thing that's nice is the fact that it has built-in AI tools. And this is not the only one that does this, but you can start to go in and say, hey, I want to connect to an AI tool, use this data, and then go bring in new information. So this is a really neat feature that you can have. The next one I want to show you is Softr. It's a little bit different because it does not store information. So Flutter Flow has Firebase access. You have Bubble, which has their own database, and it allows it to be a full stack system. With Softr, they're not storing information locally. This has advantages and disadvantages. You have to kind of figure out, what do you want? The nice thing is you can use different types of data sources, such as Google Sheets, Airtable, which we just mentioned, and even CRM tools like HubSpot. So this is an interesting tool. It's very, very easy to build things out. What's nice about this is you come over here by their use case, you can see, hey, here's different examples like a client portal, or I might use a community hub. Softr is a rapidly growing and expanding system. So they just, for example, got SOC 2 compliant. They're allowing on some of their plans to now export out to a mobile app. And they're constantly adding new features, both data sources they can connect to, as well as new tools and features and layouts. The other nice thing is they have a lot of templates that you can use to start off pretty close to what you need. So overall, it's great for getting started. Now, if you look at their pricing, it's a little bit more expensive compared to some of the other options. However, one nice thing is with their free tool, you can actually have 5 different internal users that are working in to collaborate and build this out for you. So you don't have to be building on your own. You can have a collaborative environment. So that makes it very nice, especially if you're starting out and you're bootstrapping your project. Because of that and some other things, this is a tool that I'm going to start to use for my initial MVP when I'm building this out for our Easy 360 review system. Follow us in the next video so you can see what that's going to be like.